Hello everyone and welcome to Conspirative 3. My name is Thomas, next to me is Lewis and we're here in Brazil at the Interlagos circuit for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And oh my days, it's raining once again. As I mentioned before, Lewis is in the commentary box with me. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, thanks, mate. Yeah, here in rainy, warm Interlagos. And it's funny that it coincides with the actual F1 later on this week. But yeah, we got ourselves a wet quali. I haven't checked the weather, I'm really bad. What is the forecast for the race?
Forecast for the race is actually going to be rain as well. To be exact, it's going to be mixed conditions for the race because we're going to have a dry start, but it's going to start raining, I assume, halfway through the race, and that continues all the way till the end. For this qualifying session, it starts off with rain, but it could dry up towards the end. So it's the same conditions we saw at was it
I
last
think it was
week where
last
we
week.
saw these
Yeah,
conditions? Yeah.
yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting to see if the track is going to dry up. It's going from light rain to overcast instead of light rain to light cloud. So that's what we need to keep in mind. It's it's going to be a tricky one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and like I say, right now, these are the worst times to be re-qualifying because the track's at its wettest. It's so easy for you to lose it in these conditions, and then you're starting at the back of the grid. People will start to push, maybe not right now, but people will be starting to push as we get towards the 10-minute mark, as Hasmania just has an off. As I was talking about that, he was coming out of Jung Chao. And yeah, a little bit of rear traction loss, and he's gone into the pits now. But he is currently in that provisional pole, a few hundreds. In fact, no, Marina has now got ahead of him, a few hundreds up. So, but has lives to fight another day.
Yeah, we've got a few people still in the pits as Mazza puts in the 115.4 currently on board with Lil Spark as he comes out of the last proper turn. But these are turn 14 and 15 he's negotiating with the pit entry on the left hand side. He goes on towards the line. What is Lil Spark going to do? He is putting it up into P2 with 115.6. We've got a few people in the pits. I'm wondering if they're waiting for the dry period or haven't been able to put in a lap. We've got Max and Stumpy now on their out lap, so it's only Charlie, Pure Blades and Jamie James still in the pits. The rest of the grid has all put in a lap time.
Lovely stuff. Right, so Muzza now inherits that provisional pole, 115.4. The times are coming down quite quickly. We're starting to get a drier line, although it's still raining. Just naturally, these cars with their downforce and just driving along the road creates a bit of spray and wash away that standing water on the racing line. As Bama is now inherited. Oh, Bama's off! And he's out! I was about to say, Bama just took provisional pole and then has lost it coming out of the Center S into the wall, and Bama is out. So he's not going to improve that. So if it does dry out, from being at the front, he could end up dead last.
That means that he will have to do a proper comeback race once again. We saw him doing it last week, and yeah, like you said, if the conditions are gonna improve, he will have to do again. Currently on board with 2 spots, he is up on his lap time by 4.5 tenths, so he's looking to make a good improvement. Can he improve even more through sector 3? On towards the line he goes, and he puts in a 115.8, which brings him up into P7. And look how close it is from P, well, I would say 4 on towards P7 of 2 spell. All within pretty much 1/10 of a second. You'll have to see it.
And news update, weather update, the rain has stopped. Looking on board, so
Yep.
we could very well have a dry track by the end of this qualifying session. Still plenty of time, 9 minutes left. But I think what we're seeing, what I mentioned earlier, people starting to push a little bit harder and trying to get on the throttle a little bit harder, a bit more aggressive earlier, and they're getting caught out. A lot of people really are losing going off track because they're trying to be too aggressive on throttle and trying to test the limits. And this is what makes qualifying so tricky when the conditions are like this, because the track is constantly changing. So you don't have that consistency that you get in the dry, and that is what we're seeing with a couple of people going off. And unfortunately for Bama, he is the only one to have actually damaged the car terminally.
Yeah, really
it's Jamie
unfortunate.
James. He's only just come out now.
Yeah, he only just come out. He still needs to put in a lap together with Blades and Charlie, but it's also, you need to time it absolutely perfectly. Pretty much you want to be the last one to come across the line to be able to set a lap time, because that means that the track is at its best, unless the track is too dry for your Intis and you're just overheating them. That's already going to be an issue, and with 8 minutes to go, I think we may be gonna see slicks toward the end of this qualifying session.
Yeah, we've got some people in the pits already allocating softs. Marina is one of them. But it is still not quite there. This little spark is now off the track. Has is on a lap. He's 600th of on his previous best. It's a very short lap around Brazil. But it's a track that, once you've used up ERS, it's a little bit tricky to save it, because you do spend an awful lot of the lap on full throttle. So it's in the race, you've got to really manage it, although it's very hard to do that when you've got people around you being greedy with it, trying to pass you. No one has yet gone out on track on those softs, but a couple of people are now allocating it in the pits. So they're waiting for their moment.
Tasmania is still improving, not by much, but it is an improvement, and maybe with a very good sector 3 is going to improve even more. Is he going to come into the pits? No, he stays out, on towards the line he goes, and it's going to be a improvement. He puts himself on provisional pole position with a 1:15.3, and that shows that the track is definitely improving. And Bama sees himself dropping down the field, and hopefully for him it's not going to be too bad, but I'm afraid he will be starting at one of the last places on the grid.
Yeah, that last sector was much better for Haas. See, like you say, it wasn't really much difference between first two sectors, but that final sector, massive. So he must have, on his previous lap, made a big error. You can't really gain 3 tenths in that final sector. It's one corner, and then you go up the hill. So, no matter. He's currently on provisional pole, but I feel like it can change quite quickly when this track dries out. Just under 6 minutes left.
It's time now for Jamie James to put in a lap. 18.4 in the first sector. It needs to put in a lap to at least be sure of not starting last place on the grid. Maybe a banker, but knowing Jamie James, he's probably going to put himself at least in the top 5. Through sector 2 he goes. He's got a little bit of traffic in front. That is the Ferrari of Ben, I think. Yes, it is, because 2 spells in the pits. I think it's all good. I don't think he is gonna hinder Jamie James. Through sector 2 he goes. This is the end of sector 2 and the start of sector 3. Important to get a good exit. Tricky in these kind of conditions. DRS gets enabled, so that is a sign that it is time for slick tires. Is Jamie James going to continue his lap, or is he going to come into the pits? He's going to come into the pits, so no banker lap for Jamie James. That's a little bit of a risk, because if he's going to invalidate on his slicks, he won't have a lap time.
And also, if the track doesn't, we expect the track now, DRS being enabled, we expect the track to dry out, but it's still wet. It looks wet on board anyway. So, I know Codemasters can magically make a track just dry out in a few seconds, but looking on board, it still looks like a wet track, or a damp track at least. No one out yet on those slick tyres. They've allocated it. I guess they're just waiting for the delta, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're going to wait for that delta time.
Yeah, if I was one of these drivers, I would just wait until the very last minute to go out.
You see Bama, unfortunately Bama's P3 at the moment.
Yeah,
He's going to be kicking
he's in
himself.
such a good position, but he's gonna drop down the field because of those slick conditions. And it is Saiga improving to P14, but that's not going to be important. He needs to come back into the pits as soon as possible, change to a set of soft tires and go again. And from what I can see, the track suddenly looks a lot drier.
Yeah, that's it. It's bone dry. People who are out right now on Inters, I'm a bit puzzled. I'm pretty sure they'll be going in the pits now. So, yeah, you've got Charlie out there, Sidegate's out there. We've got people coming out of the pits though, on their slicks. Right, Jack Hawkey is about to be the first one. Oh no, he pits. Bit weird.
Yeah, Charlie goes into the pits. So with Tuspel going out on slick tires, there is Max going out as well, just overtaking Tuspel. So slowly people starting to come out on track once again. And now with much more grip than when they came into the pits. With a lot of pressure because they need to put in a lap. They can't afford themselves to invalidate their lap time, because that means that the rest of the grid is going to improve apart from you. So you need to be on the limit, but build in that little bit of a buffer before you're going over the track limits and get an invalidation of your lap time.
So here we go then. Tichy is the first one to do a lap on those dry tyres. It still looks a little bit shaky, and he's going to come out. Well, there's a couple of people out there. Teammate Stumpy lets him through. Got a few people that he has to contend with. And coming up the hill now, this double apex. Yeah, it doesn't look grippy. That, or it is always a bit tricky to adjust from driving in wet conditions to dry immediately, having all that extra grip dry. But it's not hooked, I would say, from Tichy. I wonder if he's got a bit more fuel to do another run. He has got the time to do at least one more run. It needs to be. He's going to go up the hill. He should be provisional pole for now. As we come across the line. There we go, a 1:09.4.
Tuspel coming across the line as well. What is Tuspel going to do? Oh, 108.4, so a second quicker than Tichy. And yeah, you said it immediately. It looked like a really good lap time from Tuspel, but here comes Blades with a 108.0, improving by 4/10. So the track is getting quicker and quicker, and these guys need to keep on improving, because otherwise they will drop down the field as well.
Electric Blade is coming along the line. What's he gonna do? And he goes P2. Blades be on a shock here.
Is Blades going to surprise us here?
Yeah. Oh, there's more. Marina only P4. Marina could only get P4. Who else have we got? Hasmania now coming across the line. He invalidated his previous lap, so he's going to have to go again. And he's only got 70% ERS. But that might be a blessing in disguise, because he has an extra lap. And the tyres to warm up.
Stumpy
goes
improves,
P2.
yep. Currently on board with Mazza. He is coming across the start finish straight. And he puts himself up into P3, a 108.2. Blades with some insane pace around here.
Yeah, very quick time. I'm just trying to see. Oh, God. There goes Johnny.
Oh, 6/10 quicker.
That's an Aston Martin 1-2 right now. And Jamie James is on the mediums, weirdly.
Trying to do the alternative strategy, but is it going to work for him?
Look at this. Has invalidated again.
And here comes Jack Hawkey. Oh, and he puts himself up into P2 as the flag is out. Blaze is
Yeah.
not gonna improve. P3 it is at best. Here comes Stumpy. He's going to improve by at least 2.5 tenths on towards the line. And he improves to P3 at 107.8, just in front of Jack Carty.
Look at that difference. Having another lap, move Pure Blades down to P6.
Oh, and here comes Two Spell.
Yeah.
So close to that pole position for P2 it is. What is Jimmy James going to do? Here he comes on the medium tires. Is he going to put himself inside the top 10? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
P7, well done. Cygate moves himself up into P2, 107.5.
And there's still a few out there. Oh, Charlie, Blades, no, not going for it. Dan is on it.
Yeah, this is
no,
it.
he's not. He's finished.
Yeah, this is it. Unfortunately, like we expected, Bama in last place, but Hasmania invalidating twice, which means he has to start in P19. Unfortunate for those two. But Real Johnny with a brilliant lap time of a 107.4 in P1. Cygate, really surprising name up there in P2 with Two Spell in P3. But yeah, looking from the qualifying times, it's going to be a very interesting race. And
absolutely, and we've got people that are in the wrong place of the grid, haven't we?
Yeah,
very quick.
100%. But Jimmy James is on mediums, and from the weather report we got, when it's going to rain, if he can stretch those mediums until the rain period, he will be leading by at least a pit stop time. But it just depends. If the rain comes down early enough for those soft runners, his advantage is completely out the window. But if those soft runners has to stop earlier, then he is in for a really good result.
Absolutely.
So here we have it, the qualifying results for today's Grand Prix. Real Johnny in P1, Cygate P2, Two Spell P3, Jack in P4, Stampy P5, Jack Carty P6, Stitchy P7, Jimmy James P8 on those mediums, Lil Spark P9 and Pure Blades P10, Marina P11, Massa P12, Charlie P13, Electric Blade P14, then P15, Illy P16, Blaze P17, Max P18, Hasmania P19 and Bama P20.
Yeah, we got ourselves a bit of well, Brazil is always a close race and drama, but Jamie James with that strategy on the medium, like you say, it could work out for him very nicely, but obviously there's a lot of hurdles. There's accident safety cars can split strategies up. But yeah, he is the man who looks, as long as he can keep it clean, he looks in very good stead.
Dry conditions for the start of the race, looking at a lovely sunny Interlagos. Wondering what the real life weather for this weekend will be. But it's definitely going to be a very interesting Grand Prix, and hopefully these guys can pull up a early show tonight, waiting for everyone to select their optimal strategy. They're probably debating now whether they can make it on those softs, or if they have to go on mediums, or maybe even the hard tires before the rain is going to fall down.
As we wait for the clock to tick down.
It's going to be an interesting one. This is one of those races where picking up penalties can be very crucial, because a safety car is definitely not ruled out around here. Definitely not on this game as well. And with picking up penalties as easy as it is around here, it can play a big factor. Let's see what tires everyone decided to go out for outside the top 10. We've got Marina and Mazza both on softs. We've got Charlie, Dan, Hilly, Blaze, Hasmania and Bama all on mediums. We've got Electric Blade on hards and Max on the softs. Yeah, Marina, Mazza and Max are on softs outside of the top 10. Going from what I can see, you would assume that they will be able to make it until the rain period on those softs, because why would you go on to those softs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know.
Agreed. Yeah, it's something that you'd think is going to happen pretty soon. And that is why they've gone on the softs. Or, I don't know, maybe...
You can see the
maybe
clouds slowly coming, so it's a tricky one. It's a really tricky one. Real Johnny coming out of the last turn, warming up his tires for the last few seconds before everyone is going to enter their grid slots, and we're on the way for the Brazilian Grand Prix here around Interlagos. Matty in the chat, big question, can Jimmy James win again or will there be a different winner? Well, he's got a challenge up on his hands, but looking at his pace, knowing his pace, I think he can do the job. There we go, Real Johnny is in his grid slot. We're trying to get a good camera angle on the start of this race. There we have it, we've got 5 red lights. It's waiting for the glitch. As always, we've got Real Johnny in pole position, Saiget in P2, Two-Spell in P3. It is 5 red lights, and away we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's a really good start from Real Johnny. It's a really good start from Saiget as well. We've got some wheel spin for the Red Bull in the back, and we've got Stumpy immediately overtaking Two-Spell, following by Jack Hawkins as well. Two-Spell drops down 2 positions. No big chaos at the back from what I could tell, as people are swapping places left, right and center.
Yeah, all clear, like you said. There's a few people going wide. Oh, I saw some wing damage into turn 3 or turn 4. I don't know who that was. Oh, it's the Aston. It's Blades. Blades got wing damage. So, I don't know if there's any more. There's a McLaren driving very slowly.
We've got Dan going down the inside of Marina, knowing that Blades had wing damage. Marina had to slow down, and now Dan is round the outside, still side by side. And he gets the job done. Yes, no, not yet. Marina is still there, still side by side. Now with Marina as the inside. Oh, there's a Williams off. That is Hilly.
Oh, and there's a bit more. There's a marker.
And Marina gets in front, which is giving Dan a bad exit. Electric Blade is now down the inside. Oh, and Lil Spark is gonna make it 3 wide. No, he isn't. But it's a chaotic start for Dan in the Ferrari.
Oh, and also I just noticed Real Johnny's got a little red icon. So has he picked up damage at that start?
Well,
or is that just his tyres?
Yeah, he's a second away, so I don't think he has.
Oh, it's a move. Red Bull and McLaren side by side. You don't want to get contact around that section. We've seen it before. So that's Jack Hawkey getting ahead of Jack Carty. The battle of the Jacks. Return of the Jack. And we've got that. It's real good battles there. The Alpha of Tichy is ahead of Jammy. So Jammy's actually lost a place. Oh no, he stayed the same from where he started so far, which he'll be happy about. He's avoided any issues at the start, settling in now into this race.
Oh, Jack getting a little bit of a sloppy exit, but it is enough to keep Jack Carty behind. But maybe with a little bit of slipstream, this is where we can see the ones who are running a low downforce setup. And here comes the McLaren with a move down the inside of the Red Bull, going into the Senna SS. Is he gonna make it stick? The Red Bull holds it round the outside, and he stays in front. Is there going to be a warning? Is there going to be a corner cut? We don't know. Here comes Jack Carty with the DRS enabled. This should be job done. He has to go the long way around, round the outside. Can he brake late? He can brake late, but the Red Bull brakes even later. And who is going to come out on top? It is going to be the Red Bull. Great battle between those two.
Yeah, Jack Carty may have wanted to use a little bit more ERS just to get the job done. He didn't in the end, allowed the Red Bull to keep the inside free, and went down, and that was it. We got Blades did a terrible lap and spun in the last 3 corners. So I'm not sure whether he's now just waiting for his to be in DRS range now for his teammate. which I can vouch for. I've experienced a teammate helping me win a race at this track with DRS. That's for another day, that conversation. But yeah, so Jack Carty again lining up the Red Bull, and he has got that DRS. Surely he's going to have it done, and he does. Down the inside, on the outside P5 now for him. But now the Red Bull will have the DRS. So he's going to have to use a lot of energy, and already Jack's down to 86%. Jack's got no energy. A lot of these guys around that area have drained their batteries.
Stumpy got past side gate going into turn 4, that is. So he is now looking to get a little bit close to Real Johnny. The gap is 2.3 seconds and he pulled away. And he did create that gap within 4 laps, so Real Johnny showing some incredible pace around here. Jimmy James on those mediums in P8. He is stuck and in a little bit of a train formed by Stumpy because everyone is in each other's DRS. Oh, it is Jack Hawkey with a little bit of a bad entry, but the same goes for Jimmy James, who's now been put under pressure by Mazza. 1/10 is the gap, 1.5 tenths. With the DRS, is Mazza able to get his Red Bull alongside the Haas? He is gonna go for the move down the inside. Is he gonna make the job done? Oh, they make contact. That must be sidepod damage for at least one of them. But Mazza has the inside. Jimmy James holds it around the outside. He's got much more straight line speed. Who's gonna come out on top going into turn 4? I think it's going to be Jimmy James. It is going to be Jimmy James. But there was a bit of a collision between those two, and they need to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Got to give up. Bama has got up now to P12. So 2.7 seconds between himself and a little spark. The Alpines are 10th and 11th. Jamie James, the softs still working well at the moment. They haven't dropped off. It is very early. The softs can. I'm expecting the guys to pit the softs, and the softs around the lap 12 to 15, maybe like that sort of round. Because you can go soft to medium round here, can't you?
Oh yeah, you can, but you need to stretch it.
Yeah.
Saige, he came really close to the back of Stumpy. He is losing quite a lot of ERS, but he needs to do so because he needs to defend from 2 spell behind. Is there anyone going for a move? This is the problem. Everyone has DRS until Bama in P12. So it makes it even harder to make a move. Jimmy James still in that P8 on those mediums. He will be getting more frustrated lap by lap, knowing that he's probably quicker, but he just can't get past.
Yeah, and Real Johnny is checking out right now.
Yes.
Absolutely checking out.
Yeah, he is gaining half a second a lap. Oh, bad exit from Saige, and that is allowing 2 spell to go the long way round the outside.
Nice.
They're still side by side, but he gets in front. Lovely move from 2 spell, but the fact is he won't be getting any DRS. So is Saige gonna come back at him? Saige, he's got pressure from behind. He's got the McLaren of Jack Carty trying to go the long way round the outside. Jack Carty with maybe the DRS from 2 spell in front. Gets a little bit onto the grass. Saige pushes him wide and he stays in front. So Saige defends his P4, but he lost the position to 2 spell and he lost his place on the podium.
Yeah, and 2 spell was able to get into crucially DRS for the second phase. So he's starting to already catch back up with Stumpy. Stumpy's not quick at the moment, and they're all getting held up. I wonder if Stumpy has quite a high downforce, low downforce, because the fact they were right behind him.
Sorry to interrupt. It is Jack Carty running completely into the back of Saige, so I'm not surprised if he picked up any wing damage because of it. There was a little bit of a nasty situation there, but they both kept it on track. And from what I could tell, it's not anything major, but that was a weird incident.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but thankfully, like you say, Jack Carty lives. I think he's all right. I think he hasn't damaged his car. But Saige just about gets DRS, which will save him from attacks from Jack Harty.
Everybody needs to watch out, because at this rate Saike is not gonna stay within that 1 second window of 2 spot in front, as we've entered lap 8 out of 36. Still a long way to go, and the question will be, when is the rain starting to fall down, as we've got some position changes at the midfield. We've got Lil Spark getting past Maria. I'm not surprised if that was a multi-21. We've got Bama still in P12, 3 seconds it is now, so he's not gaining any time on those soft runners in front, but I think it will come later in this race, as he is forming a little bit of a train behind him as well.
Yeah, so we've got...
Oh, Seigate! I just
no.
switched on board with him. He got a very, very weird
and he's hit the
angle.
wall.
Oh, and he's put himself into the wall as well, trying to turn the car around. And he just about crashed on his own, because otherwise one of the Czechs would have been caught up in the incident as well. But it's all good. Czech Carty now has a 1.5 second gap to 2 spot, nothing he could do about. Here we saw a Czech picking up a 3 second time penalty in the Red Bull. And we've got a big game of FIFA going on as well, because Spot and KV have matched up against Milan and Chol. That is a big match, so feel free to watch that as well, Matty. We completely understand.
So, has obviously had to pit. He must have had wing damage, because he's got another set of mediums on. And he's right behind Max. There's a big gap to the rest of Hilly, Blaze, Electric Blade, Dan, Charlie. Bama's, to be fair, Bama's not really got, admittedly, obviously he's on the medium tyre. He hasn't been able to catch those guys in that DRS train. Those DRS train is what helping those people pull away from him.
So to interrupt, we've got Lil Spark with a move on Massa, and he gets the job done before the braking zone. You got a much better exit, and that is Lil Spark up into P8. And we've got Jack Hawkey putting the pressure on Jack Carty. And is he going to make a move going into the front? He's really low on ERS. If I was him, I would just save it. But he's not. He's making a move, and it's such a late move. And you saw this coming. It's Jack Carty closing the door, and it's Jack Hawkey losing positions left, right, and center. He lost positions to Ditchy, and he lost the position to Jimmy James.
This is a bit like karting right now. Everyone's nose to tail. In this situation, you're all desperate to try and make a move, because equally as much as you wanting to get ahead, you know there's people behind you trying to get past you, and if you feel like if you don't make a move, you're going to be the one who gets overtaken. And this is why you see these moves that are a little bit touch and go, and they can work, or in Jack Hawkins' case, not work, and you lose a couple of places because of it. Jamie James is looking very good now. Those mediums are starting to show a little bit of an advantage over those soft runners.
Yes, it's getting darker and darker, so I'm not surprised if we gonna see raindrops within the next 10 minutes. But for now, Jamie James needs to make use of those medium tires and push them to the absolute limit, because those softs are not gonna feel any better. As Stitchy is going for a move down the inside of Jack Carty, and he gets the job done. Is Jamie James gonna follow immediately as well? They're still side by side going up into turn 6, as I think the raindrops are starting to fall down as well.
That's music to those soft tyres. However, me and Matty have gone through this before. When it starts to rain here, in other games, older games, it's actually taking quite a long time for the track to get wet enough.
True. Yep, I've experienced that myself, yeah.
Yeah, will it happen again? I know there's certain tracks that take a long time, and other tracks are almost immediate. In previous games, that has to be said, so let's see how quick it takes for this track to get deemed wet enough.
Jack Carty seems to have some brilliant straight line speed with the help of ERS as well. Is he going to make a move on Tichy? No, he's not, but at least he defends himself from Jamie James behind. We saw the pit delta for the intermediates coming up. I think that is a little bit too early, But it is definitely starting to rain. Is Jimmy James going to make a move down the inside?
Stumpy
No,
and
he's not.
Two-Spell.
But we've got, yeah, Stumpy and Two-Spell side by side. Oh, don't push each other off track. Stumpy pushes Two-Spell off, but Two-Spell holds it around the outside, which turns into the inside for the next corner. And they're still side by side, but Two-Spell gets in front. Lovely racing from those two.
Yeah, lovely driving. He's still got this massive train. Moves Tichy on top, and that little battle that those two had ahead is allowed Tichy closing, but still, more importantly, he's not in DRS, so he is catching quite considerably. So Stumpy and Two-Spell obviously not as quick as the track's got a little bit wetter. Jack Carty didn't get a great run either, coming out of Jung Chow, and is under pressure from Jamie James. But Tichy's going to have to use DRS here. Sorry, ERS, because Jack Carty with that ERS. DRS is having a look down the inside. But he has that inside line still.
Ooh, Jimmy! Yeah,
Jamie
and I
James
exactly know what happened because I went on board with Jimmy James.
Tichy spun it, almost half spun it on the curb.
And now we have it.
Out.
Safety car is out. Yeah, I saw it. Jimmy James had to react because Jack Carty was getting a lot of oversteer. And he had to react mid-corner, which caused him to spin. He had to react, and that is Jimmy James into the wall at the place where Bama lost it as well. And that's a safety car out on track. And what are the leaders going to do? Are they going to pit for Inters or are they going to stay out on slicks?
This is the problem you've got now. How long will this take to get wet? I mean, the strategy you would think is you've got to pit now, because you can't, you're going to lose. It's a free pit stop, and if the weather forecast is to be wet, then you got to do it. The track is getting noticeably wetter, and people are losing the back end. So here comes
Real Johnny into the pits.
Oh, speeding in the pit lane.
That is going to be a crucial penalty.
Yeah, and that's such a... Oh, McLaren's crashed. I just saw a McLaren of Jack Carty hitting the wall, and he's got wing damage now. And he's left the session.
Ooh, I think something bad has happened on his part.
Yeah, someone else, Electric Blades, sped in the pit lane. The track's obviously getting wetter, but those inters don't look quick. Well, the DRS hasn't been disabled yet. The track is wetter. I mean, I think it's an error. Jack Carty technically leads, but he's left the session.
Question is, does Real Johnny now has to stay behind Jack Carty, or is he allowed to overtake? I would just try to overtake him and see what the game says. Maybe he is like, maybe the game is allowing you to stay in front. That's gonna help you massively. I don't think he's gonna gamble it. And then behind, Dan is probably praying for the safety car to come in this lap. I'm afraid then he's not gonna do so.
It's gone past Jack Carty.
He is then gonna come into the pits now. Yes, he is. So he waited. He didn't want to double stack behind Two-Spell. That is the reason why he comes into the pits now. I wonder if it was the correct choice, because now everyone closed back in, which is, in my opinion, gonna lose you even more time. But so be it. That is the disadvantage of being the second car on the grid. At least he got in front of Jack Carty, and P12 it is for Danny Boy.
Yep, so I'm guessing we got one more lap left at the safety car. A bit of drama. Now we're not even at the halfway point of the race yet.
No. Midfield is back where it was 15 laps to go, and we've got Real Johnny with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. If he can pull away on those inters like he did on the softs, he's got no problem. But if Two-Spell is able to stay with him, then Real Johnny has a problem, because then he will lose his victory, his P1, because of penalties, and that is one of the most painful ways of losing a race.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, with the wet weather, as long as he's got the pace, the lap times tend to be quite a big gap and bigger difference in the wet. So if he's got the speed, then and the gap will spread, the field gap will spread further, he should be all right. But yeah, a win, he sounds really push hard now for the win. It looks so comfortable, and but unfortunately, he's only got himself to blame for that. It's an unforced error in motorsport terms, and but he's still got plenty of laps left to make something of it.
Got people with Dan into the pits once again. So what is Dan planning on doing? Did he make a mistake? Yes, he has to change his front wing. So Dan made an error.
Send Jack Carty an invite.
Yeah, if you can do so, thank you very much.
Fine.
Rejoining of Jack destroyed my whole how you want to call it, lap data kind of thing. No intervals, but we don't need them for now. The only thing we want to see is the safety car coming in this lap. That would be lovely.
It says Jack Carty's already joined, so I can't invite him.
Yeah, he joined back in, so it should be all good. Safety car is coming in this lap. When is Real Johnny gonna go? I think he led a safety car in USA as well, and he is allowed to do so again here in Brazil. And here he goes. Brilliant restart from Real Johnny, as Two-Spell probably didn't expect it. Is Stumpy immediately gonna go for a move? No, because he's been put under pressure by Lil Spark, who goes for a move round the outside. Lil Spark, and he steers into Stumpy. We've got a brilliant helicopter view, and that allows Lil Spark to get into P2, but he destroyed Stumpy. His race was now all the way down in P18.
That's such a horrible slide spin. Because it's so slow, it's such slow motion, but it's just no grip in that wet. And yeah, he's gone from P2 right down to the back of the grid. Oh, such a shame.
It's not looking like Two-Spell has the pace in the wets, because Obama is now putting Two-Spell under pressure, as Lil Spark is forming a little bit of a gap behind him. Two-Spell seems to be struggling early on.
Yeah, great recovery. Bama, P4 from dead last. You know, he's right there. And is taking advantage of the safety car and people's mishaps. And it's right in the action now, unbelievable. Oh, and he almost lost it. Commentator curse, don't stop it, stop it.
Oh,
that was a little reminder
days.
of the gods, wasn't it? That was the gods there. Oh.
We've got so much power.
Yeah, we have so much motivation. Like, we control. We are gods in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I understand now why Lil Spark took so much risk going for those moves, because he seems to be pretty confident in these kind of conditions, and he seems to be able to keep up with Real Johnny. He's almost 1 second clear of Two-Spell already, with only a lap in these conditions done.
Yeah. He's right on the back. He's forcing Johnny to use the RS. Yellow, so that's Blades rather. Just done that. But yeah, I think Two-Spell more had an issue of just tyre temp. I'm guessing. Still, he hasn't lost as much time. And Bama's not all over the back of him.
We've got Marina and Electric Blade going side by side. Oh, but they have great respect for each other. Oh, as I say that, never mind. Marina shuts the door while Blade is still there. That is the second spin in these interconditions.
Commentator curse. It strikes again. It's so still Little Spark trying to find a way without getting too greedy on the throttle. He's using that ERS. Oh, he had a Blades retired in the pits.
Yeah, which is early on, but I sort of understand it. Like, very frustrating when these kind of conditions happen.
Yeah, look at this, Sparks all over the back of Johnny.
Yeah, but this is the problem. No DRS now to make a move. You need to do it by getting a better exit or by having much more straight line speed, but you have to wait and see until the start finish straight to see how the straight line speed is looking like. This is the corner where you need to get a good exit, which is okay for Lil Spark. 3/10 it is, and he slowly started to close in on Real Johnny, and I think he's got much more straight line speed with the help of the ERS. He has to go the long way route now. He can go and make a move down the inside. Is he gonna do so? He is gonna do so. They make contact side by side, but Lil Spark gets in front, or doesn't he?
Yeah, he's
gets in front. Yeah.
Oh, Johnny's right on his gearbox, but here we go. Johnny's lining him up here. He's not shut the door. The Alpine. Oh, he has to be careful here, Johnny. There's just enough of a gap. Oh, again more contact. But they've held on. And now Spark, if he keeps it tidy, he has got that grip. It just seems he's got that advantage over Johnny. And he should be able to start to pull away.
Yeah, the thing is, Blue Johnny has a lot of ERS left, above 70%. So he can use it on the start finish straight to try and come back, but you can see the difference 6/10 from between him and Lil Spark already. You can see Lil Spark getting the much better exit and his blades going onto the wets.
Yeah, I think that's not the wise choice. But yeah, the Alpine it turns in better. Looking at the car between him and Johnny, Johnny has understeer in that car. It's quite bad, so he's struggling to reach the apexes at the same speed as what Spark can do. Just a little bit more twitchy. Sparks is just slanted, and that is what's allowing him to, particularly in those slower corners, tighter corners, be able to carry more speed and get on the power earlier, and that is equating to.
Oh, we've got Jack Carty going for a move down the inside of Blaze. Is he gonna make it stick? They're side by side, but Jack Carty gets the much better exit and he makes a move for P7. Really well done by the McLaren driver, who unfortunately for him lost connection at a crucial point, which made him. Oh, Bama! Yeah, and he rejoins just behind Blaze.
I don't know if he had any wing damage from it. We just it didn't look like it. That's unfortunate for the Mercedes driver.
Blaze struggling as well in these conditions, but who's not? We've got a few people feeling confident. Lil Spark seems to be quite comfy. Jack Carty as well, but unfortunately for him he's 3.4 seconds behind Marina. Bama looks really strong, but unfortunately for him he made a mistake. But yeah, tricky conditions here at Interlagos.
Yeah, it's going to increase the race time today. Lap 22 now, 36. To be fair to Johnny, he's been able to stabilise the gap, and he has more energy in his battery. So, although Johnny obviously has a 5-second penalty, which currently would put him into the podium positions, still plenty of laps left for things to change at the moment. We've got Lil Sparkley, Johnny's P2, 2-spell P, Jack Hawkey P4, Marina P5, and then Jack Carty making his recovery from the internet glitch. He is 3 seconds behind Marina in P6.
Yeah, people slowly starting to get into their rhythm. Is Bama now putting the pressure on Blaze, and I don't think Blaze is gonna hold on. Oh, we've got, oh, there's Pure Blade struggling on those wets. I thought we got someone off. Oh, is Bama was almost off as well. Yeah, people still struggling. People slowly trying to find their rhythm. Obama's not gonna get past Blaze on a start-finish straight. Is he gonna do it after the Senna S, or is he, or does he have to stay behind that Williams for at least another lap? I think it's that last bit, because Blades is trying to make a work on those wets, but you can tell it's not the quicker tire. Let's see, is Mazda gonna make a move on then? No, he's not. So yeah, a little bit of a train. Not a lot of action going on at the moment, but maybe we will see further along in this race. Yellow sector 2. Safety car.
Must have severe collision with Pure Blades. Well, that's not going to happen at all. And anyone for that matter that has pedal is going to restart it again.
Yeah, I saw Mazda running into the back of Blaze, but I thought it was I thought he ran into the back of someone else. But how can he run into the back of Blaze as he was a lap down? That's my question.
Yeah,
ooh, we've got the lead. Yeah, we've got the leaders into the pits for, I assume, another set of inters. Two-Spell stays out, Jack Hawkey stays out, Marina goes into the pits as Jack Carty stays out, Blaze stays out. Interesting stuff here.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting now, because those people, how fresh, having those fresher inters, how much advantage is it going to give you? Because seeing it's dropping them down, so Little Spark is P7. Ooh, I think he's P7. Yeah, P7. So P7 for him. Johnny is behind Tichy. He actually lost quite a bit of time, Johnny, there. Which makes you think, I wonder if he had any wing damage. Because he's actually quite a bit behind Little Spark. Marina also on new inters. Bama on new inters. Kaz is not. Chai's not. Muzzer, Stumpy, Stygate. Max is on mediums. I feel like that is not deliberate. He's
interesting
gonna have to pit again, surely. I mean, he has to be lucky he doesn't put in the wall there.
It's definitely not gonna stop raining, so track's not gonna get any quicker on those mediums. Two-Spell leading the way. Yeah. Lil Spark P7, Real Johnny P9, they were P1 and P2 before they made their pit stop. Is it going to be a good strategy call? We will have to wait and see. I would say bad call, but who am I? These drivers have surprised me quite a lot of times already, so who am I to say they're not going to do it this time?
That's funny. That is see a medium runner, but Max, fair play, he's almost made it. I'm guessing he's going to pit to go back onto the right tyre. And to be honest, he's going to struggle. Oh, I thought he hit the wall then, but no. He's going to struggle to catch up the guys anyway, to be honest. I think he will. and I think we will be resuming at the end of this lap. Never to go next time by.
Yeah, 100%. And after that, we will have 11 laps of racing, and it will
This
be.
is the other thing. Thomas. The other thing is, in these conditions, yeah, okay, you might have an advantage with fresher inters, but you haven't got DRS, and they've got a few people that they're going to have to get past. Like Lil Spark's got 6 people to get past. It's not like a couple; it's 6. So, if it's not that bad, and the safety car has not signalled that it's coming in,
Can
so that's going to be another lap.
Call, but
Because of Max.
yeah, so he will be staying out for another lap. Yeah, but that's why I said it was a bad call, because it's going to be extremely hard for Lil Spark and Real Johnny to make up all those positions. The only thing that is working in their advantage is that there are Haley, Dan and Jack in front who've got penalties, but yeah, is that going to be enough?
Yes, another says next time by. And choose how much I think his heart rate must be a little bit. I got in this race. No penalties. Jack behind him has 3 seconds of penalties. Jack Hawkey. Jack Carty has none. Neither does Blaze. Jack Carty's going to be happy. You know, internet disconnect. And now he's P3.
Yeah, like you've mentioned, the state car should be coming in this lap. We've got a disappointing electric blade in the chat, which is totally understandable. Really sorry for your race, mate. Wasn't meant to be. With 10 more laps to go when the safety car comes into the pits. And the safety car does come into the pits this lap. Finally, we can see those lights being turned off. So Two-Spell is free to go and free to decide his own pace. He had a little bit of a bad safety car restart when Real Johnny was getting us underway once again. How is Two-Spell gonna do himself? We've got Jack Hawkey in P2 and Jack Carty in P3, and Two-Spell is gonna go, and he's already creating a little bit of a gap between himself and the Red Bull. And is Jack Carty immediately gonna go for the move down towards turn 1? No, he's not. Is there anyone else going for the move? I think it's going to be, yes, Lil Spark going for a move down inside of Dan, and he works himself already up into P6.
Lovely stuff. Two-Spell go. Oh! McLaren! Jack Carty, did he hit the wall? I think he did. Bama's retired. All sorts of chaos. So Bama's out. Well, Dan's not out, sorry. Dan's still going. No safety car signalled. But, wow. That was a bit of a crazy restart rather. So Little Spark now is up to P4. He's just made a move on Hilly. So great start for those people.
Yeah, well, at this rate, they are making the good strategy call, because they are winning places left, right and center.
Stumpy's also had a crash and he's out as well. So on those cold tyres, it's a lot of people out. Crazy. So now with those Two-Spell, Jack, Blaze in that top 3, and now Lil Spark is up to P4. That's so much better for him to try and work with, trying to win this race again.
Oh, here comes Real Johnny with a move around the outside of Hilly. Can he make it stick? They're side by side. He tries to push him wide, but Real Johnny is still there now with Max Verstappen move round the outside. He gets the job done. That's himself up into P5, and Marina gets up into P6 as Hilly almost lost it coming out of turn 3.
Yeah, this is dangerous times. Hilly's got no grip whatsoever to those guides.
Oh, it is Hasmania who lost it.
Yeah.
Did he make contact with Hilly though? That's the question. Couldn't see it.
If Little Spark can turn this around, well, we got an Aston spun. That's Blades again on those wets. Oh, Blaze gets hit from behind. Little Spark. Little Spark's desperate now to get the move because he can see the top two romping away at the front. But no DRS to help him. He's going to have to do it using his energy smartly. Oh, he breaks late! Oh, he goes off massively! Just of all, but he's got wing damage, surely. He got caught out, and there you go, Little Spark now. He's right down into P11.
He drops
And
down
this is when,
all the way to... Oh my days, that's bad.
yeah, so now it's down to Real Johnny. He just got caught out. But this is the problem. When you do give up track position, in the wet in particular, you haven't got to get past. And at the end of the day, you just run the risk of... Duke Spell and Jack, obviously, you know, they've got to go quite long with their inters. There's still, well, even with next time by, there's still 7 laps left. But, yeah, it's still going to be tricky for these guys. Real Johnny again. Oh, and now he hits the back. They're all getting caught out from Blaze's braking. But that's obviously because of how much more grip they have. And Marina's now lining up Johnny because Johnny braked late. He went into the back of the Williams. He's using a lot of energy. He's also trying to defend from Marina. Oh, got yellow in second 2. There's Blades again.
See Marina now, he's got a brilliant view of the battle between Real Johnny and Blaze, and there's a battle going on for the lead as well, so 2 battles slowly starting to form with 6 more laps to go. It's getting more tense, and who is gonna come out on top? I can't say it. There is too much that can happen in these 6 remaining laps.
Remember, also Jack has got a 3-second penalty, so, and Two Spell will know that. So Two Spell won't defend too valiantly. Again, so Jack needs to move. He'll I would have thought, he'll defend and not too. Obviously, doesn't want to let Jack pull away by 3 seconds. There's still enough laps to do
Marina
that.
lost it on exit. Oh, and he lost it
still...
again. No, he saved it.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
Oh. That gives Johnny a bit of a break, breather. But it's now here comes Charlie lining up Hilly. Hilly's going to go a little bit deep, but not too bad. He's going to compromise his exit to the rest. But in the end, it worked out for him. And look at this, Marina's going to already fight back.
On the inside. Oh, they're still side by side and they make contact. He gets in front of Charlie.
And here comes Cygate. You think Cygate was looking so good early in the race, he's had wing damage. Safety car, he's still... Johnny can't find a way through because Blaze is desperately trying to hold on to that podium.
He's on 16 lap old Inters compared to 6 lap old Inters. If Blaze manages this, then it's an absolute worldly drive.
Yes,
I don't think he can. Oh, Real Johnny is pushing
Johnny.
him through the corners, but it's allowing him to, or it's allowing Blaze to get a much better exit.
Yeah, that wasn't smart by Johnny. He should have just waited. He was too impatient and too quick to react to Blaze. Or Blaze's mistake occurred, and he just ended up in the back of him, and it helped Blaze edge a bit of a gap. So that's another lap now where Johnny isn't able to make the move, which is pretty much putting the nail in the coffin for his chances of victory. And they'll all be thinking those guys that pitted, like Johnny and Lil Spark, that hadn't have pitted, I would have been fine. It's two spell and Jack improving it.
Yeah, they pretty much checked out with 3.2 seconds, unless Real Johnny has some massive pace advantage and he can get past Blaze on this lap. Don't think he can pass those other two.
Oh, Hilly spun! And lost the back end, and that's going to free up Marina.
Safety car!
Oh. Oh. That,
Oh.
I don't know why, because there's no retirement. That's just Codemasters doing its
Yeah.
thing in it. So we've got 30, we're going to start lap 33. So I guess we've got next lap 33, 34. In fact, yeah, there we go. So we are lap 33 now. So we'll do another lap. It's lap 34. I guess we'll be restarting at the beginning of lap 35. So it's going to be, I would have thought, 2 laps of green. It's going to be a green-white checkered.
The thing is, Real Johnny now will at least gain a position because of Jack Hawkeye's penalty situation.
Yeah. Jack Hawkeye will not be happy about the safety car.
No.
At
No. Blaze will be very happy in P3 about this safety car situation. I think Tuspel as well. Don't think he is too fussed about it. It's an interesting one, this. Very interesting one. When is the safety car gonna come in? Because we're approaching a stage now where the safety car is not gonna wait for everyone to join the queue. He's just gonna come in whenever he wants. So I'm not surprised if he comes in this lap or the next one when not everyone has joined the queue. Few people decided to pit for another set of inters. We've got Mazza, Dan and Hilly all on fresh inters, but they are on a penalty, so they've got double the work to do to improve into a point paying position. We've got the top 3 still on their 19 lap old inters, together with Tichy in P8. Impressive job from the top 3. Especially from Blaze, as he's been put under pressure lap after lap after lap. He managed to stay in front of Real Johnny, who was on much fresher inters. And yeah, I think with after this one 2 more laps to go, Blaze should be able to get the job done.
So, here we go then. I'm guessing the safety car, well, it has to be, it will be coming in at the end of this lap. So the old NASCAR style green-white checkered is upon us. And for Tuspel, and for a lot of these guys, really high adrenaline couple of laps, because there's going to be people trying to, go for it. People are going to go for it here. Especially towards the back of the field, they've got nothing to lose. Those at the front have everything to lose. At the same time, they're going to defend for their lives. Waiting for the line. Here we go. Safety car in this lap. And if it's a shame that Tuspel, because Jack was a little bit behind there, but he wasn't able to react because the safety car was too close. And again, Jack's not very close behind the Ferrari.
Jack needs to
get
close, but Tuspel's already away. And it's once again a bad restart for Jack Hawkeye, but look at Blaze, he's been put under pressure by Johnny, and I think Johnny is going to go for the move down the inside. There he is, and he gets past Blaze.
Deep. But here comes the Alpine as well. Yeah, there we go. So we've got 2.5 to go.
Oh,
Alpine's going to
is
break
Marina
late.
going for a late move, but he
Yeah.
gets the job done and he gets in front of Blaze as well.
Yeah. Oh, Dan had a little moment, but was able to survive. Now, the problem these guys with the older Inters have got is tyre temp. They're going to struggle to get the tyre temp. And Johnny is going to be all over the back of Jack.
Yeah, but the problem is those two in front will have a full battery that they will empty out in these last 2 laps. So I don't think Real Johnny can really make the impact he wants on those fresher Inters to get the job done. Maybe he can get past Jack Hawkey. He will get past Jack Hawkey because of penalties, because he picked up a 3-second temp when he went through the St. Isis on the last lap. So it's 6 seconds now for Jack Hawkey. As he's gonna lose out on a lot of positions because of the late safety car. He will be kicking himself for picking up those penalties, like I've mentioned at the start of this race. Is Real Johnny gonna make a move as we've entered lap 36 or 36 with 2-Spell in the lead? Jack Hawkey in P2, Real Johnny in P3 with Marina following him very closely. A lot of guys inside the top 10 are on penalties, so we will be seeing a lot of position changes when we come towards the end of the lap.
Muzzo has a massive off. Unfortunately for him, it was 3 wide going into turn 3, and he gets a 10-second penalty on top of that. But it's all gigging off there. Oh, and there's an Alpha Tauri spun as Has. Has spun. His race has been it's been terrible for him, and he's
Max
now
as well.
fallen out on the points. Yeah.
Well, we have
the
to
2-Spell.
Yeah, we have to focus.
Nearly there.
Brilliant race from 2-Spell. Well, it seemed like he didn't have the pace on those Inters, but he stayed out, and on 20 lap old Inters he's going to take victory here in Brazil at the Interlagos circuit, with Real Johnny finishing in P2, Marina P3, who gets overtaken by Blaze on penalty, so he gets his podium. With Marina and P4, Tichy jumps all the way up to P5, then P7, Hilly P8, Saige P9, and Charlie rounds off the top 10. No, he doesn't, because it was someone dropping positions like an absolute stone.
Yeah, I didn't see who that was.
We'll have to wait until the final results, but we've got driver of the day in Blaze, and he picked up a podium. You love to see it. It's a lovely lad, brilliant chap, and he's got his podium now, fully deserved. Really happy for him, not biased whatsoever. 2-Spell taking another victory with Real Johnny driving. Yeah, he drove a really good race, strong performance, but I think he will be kicking himself for making that extra pit stop on those ins, because he had it covered. So here we have it, the final standings for today's race, as it's suddenly sunny here in Brazil. 2-Spell victory in today's race, Real Johnny picking up that extra point for the fastest lap. In P2, Blaze on the podium as well. P3, Tichy P4, Jack Hawkey P5, then P6, Healy P7, Saige P8, Charlie P9, and Max P10. Hasmania P11, Marina was it, who dropped all the way down to P12 because he had 23 seconds of penalties. Surprised what happened there. Mazza P13, Jack Carty P14, Blaze P15, Lil Spark P16, Stampy P17, Bama P18, Electric Blade P19, and Jimmy James P20.
That was a eventful race, and well deserved by 2-Spell to get that victory. Very smart, keeping out on the track. I feel sorry for, in the end, Little Spark. He was obviously looking very good in the wet conditions, but going for that stop during the safety car changed everything in the end. And yeah, and 2-Spell. And you feel like Blaze as well. Blaze stayed out there, didn't get penalties, and a well-deserved podium for him as well. So, great job for them. And the people that are normally fighting for the championship, the top runners, didn't have the best of races.
No, definitely not. So yeah, really surprising race once again. They did entertain us. We're gonna invite Two Spell, Blaze, and Real Johnny to the commentary box. Here we go. We're gonna get the Ferrari up on screen. Guys, make sure your audio is on allowed to be shared, and then we can start with the interviews very shortly. We're gonna start off with Blaze, as there we have Two Spell. Blaze, first of all, congratulations on. Knew this was gonna come. Yeah! And because of that, this whole stream is gonna get copyrighted, but we don't care.
Yeah, by the Italian government.
Yeah, but we allow it because it's the most beautiful national anthem there is. We're
Yeah.
gonna continue on. Blaze, first of all, congratulations on taking P3. Brilliant, brilliant battles we saw you having on track. How hard was it for you to keep Real Johnny behind for all those laps before the last safety car?
It was so difficult because my tyres were like on 50% the fronts, and he probably had fresh, and I was like, I have no chance of keeping him behind. And then I just did because of the rain and just kept getting good exits.
Yeah, how hard was it for you to stay clear from those penalties? Because we saw a lot of people inside of them picking up penalties, which caused a lot of position changes on the last lap. Were you struggling with it, or were you quite confident on penalties?
I'm confident on getting no penalties. I only got one on like one of the first few laps, and then I like the first chicane, and then I didn't get one for the rest of the race. I think it's pretty simple not to get ones. You just follow the rules, and it works. So
Fair enough. Yeah, you drove a really strong race, mate. Enjoy your P3, fully deserved.
thanks.
Going on to P2, Real Johnny. First of all, congratulations. We saw you being very dominant on those slicks. Were you expecting the difference in pace compared to the rest of the field, or were you quite surprised that you were so much quicker?
I wasn't too sure what to expect. I'd raced in League of Ireland Brazil last night, so um, I was completely used to the track in qualifying. I knew I could get into the sixes in qualifying if it was dry. So seeing it being wet and the one shot, it was a bit dodgy, but I got the lap and I was a bit quicker than the lads, so happy qualifying in the race. The only reason why I pitted the second time was because I got the 5 seconds for speeding, so I just said I'd get rid of that. And I've got
Ah,
nothing to lose because I'm only a reserve, so I can just go for a few overtakes. Like,
how gutted were you when the safety car came out, or was it actually or was it actually a nice surprise for you that it came out? You because of that, you gained the position on Jack Hawkey, but it allowed Two Spell to use all of his ERS on the last two laps. Mixed feelings, I think.
yeah, I was happy with this. I knew I wasn't going to catch him. Jack was out of the 3 seconds. I knew I wasn't going to catch him or get anywhere near it. So Yeah, the safety car, I knew I could get Blaze, I think, off the restart. If I just went for it into turn one, I'd have the grip on the tires, so I just went for it then. I knew it was P2 from there on.
Yeah, really steady result. Crucial moves towards the end and a brilliant P2. Enjoy, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And then going on to our race winner, two spell. Once again a victory. This time at Brazil. Brilliant race. Really good strategy call. Quite confident about staying out on those inters, or was it something in your mind that said you had to come in for a second set of inters?
Well, I knew that. Well, not new, but I had a feeling that Johnny would pit because he had the 5-second penalty. I don't know why Lil Spark pitted, to be honest, but when he did, I was like, I'll just stay out. The Jeff was telling me it was two into stops, but the wear was only like 17% at the first safety car, and then obviously behind the safety car you maybe do like 1%. So it was alright. I thought I'd go for track position because I was quite quick, but not able to overtake Johnny and Lil Spark under the wet weather.
Yeah, fair enough. How happy were you when the last safety car came out? Because it probably released a lot of pressure, didn't it?
Because I'm really nice on my tyres, I don't like safety cars because it takes me longer to warm them up than everybody else. So I think we were saying that somebody was up to like 50 odd % on their tyre wear at the end. I think I was only on sort of like high 30s, even though I'd used the inters the whole time. But it takes me like a good half a lap longer. So the first lap under the safety car, I was quite glad that Jack Hawkey made a little bit of a mistake, because then that gave me about a second, and then I was like, oh, I can try and warm these up now and then just burn the ERS.
Fair enough,
So
mate.
the last safety car was a bit stressful.
I could tell. But you managed it all the way. You took victory. Brilliant strategical, fully deserved victory, mate. Enjoy it.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
And it rounds off the stream for today. Congratulations once again on the podium finish, everyone who scored points today. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you, Lewis, for joining the commentary box with me. It was a pleasure as always.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, and congratulations. Well done, Two Spell, getting that win, and congratulations to everyone getting that top 3. And look forward to seeing more and commentating on it next week.
100%. If you guys don't want to miss anything related to Counter Speed, make sure you follow us on Twitch and on social media. Tomorrow we've got the AU2 race, AM2 race, and on Thursday we've got AM1 and AU1. This is the stream for today. Have a good one, and as always say, stay safe and goodbye.